Welcome to the second lecture of thermodynamics. In previous lecture we saw introduction to basic thermodynamic properties and state function, path function. Okay. In this lecture we are going to see extensively about enthalpy alone. Enthalpy, as we saw, is the change in internal energy at constant pressure. Okay. What are the types of enthalpies that you deal with in NEET exam? The number one most important thing is formation. Enthalpy of formation is the amount of energy change that happens when you form 1 mole of the product compound from the constituent elements in their standard state. Okay, it's a lot easier when you write an example and do it. For example, let's say we take ammonia, our common example, N2 plus H2 gives you 2NH3, this is 3. Okay, right. For the time being I am ignoring that it is going to be an equilibrium process. Okay. Now this reaction as written, the enthalpy associated with it, delta H associated with as written, is enthalpy of a reaction. But when I want to form a compound, okay, and I want to calculate my delta H of formation, it has to be 1 mole of the product formed. So for formation, so this is going to be delta H of reaction. So if I make it 1 mole of product formed, NH3 gas, okay, 3 by 2 H2 plus 1 by 2 N2. So this will be the enthalpy of formation for ammonia. Okay. So it has to be the amount of energy change involved when you have or when you form 1 mole of a given compound from its constituent elements in their standard state. Nitrogen is standard state N2 gas, hydrogen is standard state is H2 gas, not deuterium, not tritium. Okay. So this is delta H of formation. Again, this has to be only 1 mole of what you want. Product la ore mole da irukum. Now we can go further and say, if I suppose take these two in standard state, meaning 25 degrees Celsius, 298 Kelvin and 1 bar. Okay. 25 degrees Celsius, 1 bar. The same reaction will give you enthalpy of formation at the standard state, also called standard enthalpy of formation. Okay, this knot stands for everything in the standard state, standard enthalpy of formation. This is extremely important. Again, it will be very simple. In one of the previous year questions in NEET, all they have given you is, they have given you 4 different options. They ask you which among the following is the enthalpy of formation reaction. Okay, என்னெல்லாம் சாய்ஸ் இருக்கலாம் அப்படின்னா, ஒரே ஒரு மாலிகுல் ஃபார்ம் இருக்காது ஒரு ராங் ஆன்சரில். இன்னொன்றுல என்ன இருக்கலாம்னா இதெல்லாம் ஸ்டாண்டர்ட் ஸ்டேட்டில் இருக்காது. Okay, as simple as that. Okay. Now for example, take carbon dioxide. Okay, I can form it from O2 plus carbon, or I can form it from CO2 plus carbon. Okay. Now there is 1 carbon, 1 O2 and carbon. This is fine. So there is 2 oxygens. There is already 2. There is 1 here. So I make it half. Okay. Now both of them, you see, they both form 1 mole of CO2. Okay. Except in the second one, I don't have standard state. This is a compound itself. So this will not be delta H of formation. This will be delta H of formation. And more so, if I take these two in standard condition, this will become delta H of formation at standard condition or standard heat of formation. Okay, straightforward. Combustion is very simple. You take any given compound or element or whatever it may be, an atom, and then you combust it in oxygen to form the constituent oxide. Okay, product of combustion are always oxides of whatever you take. For example, this particular reaction, okay, solid plus O2 gives you CO2 gas. This is delta H of formation of CO2, also heat of combustion of carbon. It just so happens it is an example of both. But here you want to make sure that this carbon here can be graphite or diamond or anything. Okay, if it is diamond, it just means that what is the enthalpy associated with it would be heat of combustion of diamond. Whereas here I have to have standard state, and you need to know the standard state of carbon. That's going to be graphite. So in the case like the graphite ah irundha aganum, inga eduva vena irakalam. It's just that graphite ah irundha combustion of graphite, diamond ah combustion of diamond, coal ah combustion of coal. Okay, straightforward. Now we can take one more. For example, I don't have to have an element, I can have methanol. CO constituent oxides, CO2 plus H2O. Okay. Now there is one carbon, I am good. There is 3 plus 1, 4 hydrogen. Okay. So that's going to be 2 hydrogens. Alright. Now when you look at it, I have 2 oxygens plus 2 times 2 is 4 oxygens. Okay. There is here 1 oxygen. Okay. There is 2 plus 1 is 3. So I have to balance the equation. I cannot make this 2. If I do this, my carbons and hydrogens balancing is gone. So what I do is I make it 3 by 2. 3 by 2 times 2 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay. Here I am not focusing on my products. Here I focus on my products. Here I focus on my reactant. Heat of combustion of 1 mole of methanol means it has to be 1 on the left side. Here it has to be on the right side. Okay. The symbol for this would be delta H C, combustion, and if it is done at standard state, delta H of combustion, straightforward. Now I am going to write an example where it matters what you form. H2 plus O2 gives you H2O, and I can make it liquid, I can make it gas. Okay. Now when you look at it, I have to balance the equation. So H2 plus, let's make it half O2, it's just easier. Now when you look at both of them, you can see that this is the heat of formation of H2O liquid. This is the heat of formation of H2O gas. But you cannot say both of them as combustion, only one of them is combustion. This will be the combustion because I convert the final product into gases. Okay. So completely combustion. This is not completely combusted. This can be still further converted to this. So there are cases where these two are same, there are cases where they are different. You just have to be careful. Okay. Luckily here I form only 1 mole of this and only 1 mole of this. I can use it for combustion as well as formation. Alright, let's go into neutralization. Neutralization question comes quite a few times. Now very simply, neutralization is an acid plus base gives you salt and water. At this point we will write it simple. Okay. Neutralization is when the amount of energy change, and usually it is exothermic, and acid and base reacts means it is going to give out gases. So neutralization is basically when 1 mole of an acid reacts with 1 mole of a base. But here we have diprotic acid, triprotic acid, diacidic base, all those. So the best way to say it is the amount of energy change when 1 mole of H plus reacts with 1 mole of OH minus. An acid gives you H plus, base gives you OH minus to give you water. This is del H neutralization. Okay, and if you use the standard condition, that is del naught. I put NeUT, I don't put En because N stands for moles. Okay, so H plus plus OH minus. So in general, the basic neutralization reaction is nothing but H plus plus and OH minus gives you water or formation of water molecule. Okay. So how do we say it in terms of acid and base? You can say it as, let's take an example, HCl plus NaOH gives you NaCl plus H2O. I can also take H2SO4 plus 2 NaOH gives you Na2SO4 plus 2 H2O. So how do I do this? The best way to explain neutralization reaction is the amount of energy change when one equivalent of an acid reacts with one equivalent of a base. Equivalent concept, we will see it separately in mole concept. Okay. Similarly here, this is, if you take one H2SO4, that is 2 equivalents. At this point what you can say is, ஒரு mole அப்படினா எவ்வளவு equivalents இருக்குனா எவ்வளவு H plus தருதுன்னு பாருங்க. 2 H plus தரும். So 1 mole H2SO4 is 2 equivalents. So I want only one equivalent. So this will be delta H of neutralization. This will not be half H2SO4 plus NaOH gives you half Na2SO4 plus H2O. This will be delta H of neutralization. Okay, and it so happens that when a strong acid and a strong base reacts, the amount of energy change is basically from the H plus and OH minus reacting, and you need to remember the value for that. Okay. This comes down to 13.6 kilocalories per mole or 57.3 kilojoules per mole. What it means is, when a strong acid, 1 mole of a H plus and 1 mole of OH minus or 1 equivalent of a strong acid reacts with 1 equivalent of a strong base, the amount of heat liberated is 13.6 kilocalories or 57.3 kilojoules. Okay, the conversion between them is, if you just multiply 13.6 times 4.184 is the conversion into joules. So you will get 57.3. So this is the amount that you will liberate. Now if you take a strong acid, strong base, well and good. If one of them is weak, ஏதாவது ஒன்று வீக்காக இருந்தாலும் இவ்வளோ வெளியில் வராது. That will be the amount of energy absorbed to make them dissociate. We will see that separately. Okay. So at this point all you have to know is, இப்போ நான் இதை கொடுத்துருக்கிறதுல ஏதாவது ஒன்று வீக்காக இருந்தால் வெளியில் வரப்போகிற எனர்ஜி இவ்வளோவா இருக்காது, இதோட கம்மியாக இருக்கும். அந்த டிஃப்ரென்ஸ் ஆஃப் எனர்ஜி, வெளியில் வராத எனர்ஜி இருக்குல்ல, டிஃப்ரென்ஸ், தட் இஸ் தி அமௌண்ட் ஆஃப் எனர்ஜி யூஸ்ட் அப் டு மேக் தி வீக் கவுண்டர் பார்ட் டிசோசியேட். ஓகே. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் அஸ்டிக் ஆசிட் எடுத்திங்கன்னா 100% ரைட் சைடில் போகாது. CH3COOH வந்து CH3COO minus and H plus போகணும். But somebody has to break that bond completely. Some amount of energy will be absorbed. So 57.3க்கு பதிலாக it will give you less than that because it has to break it. We will see that in detail on the problem side. At this point, make sure that what is given to you strong and strong or anything is weak. There is also an exception. What is the most amount of energy you can liberate? 57.3 is for the most standard case, but there is an example where in NEET exam itself it can be more than 57.3 and it is with HF. Even though it's a weak acid, okay, because of hydration energy which you have not seen yet, you will see that it's an exception, it will be more than that. At this point, just remember this statement, HF for the reaction, HF is a weak acid, HF with a strong base greater than 57.3, all strong acid, strong base 57.3, rest of the weak acid or a weak base less than 57.3. The weaker the acid or the base, the lesser it is going to be compared to 57.3, and this is all heat liberated. So if you want, you can write it as minus. Okay, straightforward. The next is phase change. You can have 3 different phase change. Let's take solid, liquid and gas. A solid can go into a liquid can go into a gas, or solid can go into a gas, and the reverse is also possible because it's a phase change. Alright. Okay. When a solid goes to liquid, you call it fusion. The symbol for that is delta H of fusion. F போட முடியாது because we use F for this, so that's called delta H of fusion, and it is actually interchangeably used for both solid to liquid or liquid to solid. எப்படி வேணா யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். இப்போ solid to liquid X அப்படின்னா liquid to solid minus X. Okay, that's all. Both are called fusion. Liquid to gases vaporization, gas to liquids condensation, but they are given the symbol delta H of vaporization. Okay. Now solid to gases sublimation. So this is given a symbol delta H of sublimation. Okay. Imagine a solid going to a gas. Solid goes to liquid, liquid goes to gas. Okay. So solid to gas அப்படினா ரெண்டுத்தையும் கம்பைன் பண்ணி தான் இருக்கணும். So delta H of sublimation is actually a sum total of delta H of fusion plus delta H of vaporization. If you do it in standard condition, that becomes delta H naught sublimation equals delta H naught fusion plus delta H naught vaporization. Okay. This is straightforward, just converting one phase to another. Example, this is right there, this is liquid going to gas, delta H of vaporization. Okay. Now see that this is some energy is involved in the conversion. அப்போ இந்த conversion energy involved அப்படின்னா ப்ராடக்ட் என்ன ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுதோ, அப்போ இது எக்ஸ்னா இது ஒய், எக்ஸ் அண்ட் எக்ஸாக இருக்க முடியாது. இதில் என்ன எனர்ஜி வெளியில் வருதோ அதோட இது கம்மி வேறு மாதிரி இருக்கணும். ஓகே. And the difference is what is going to be the delta H of vaporization. Alright, that's your phase change. The last is dissolution. Dissolution is very simple. You take a solid, you put it in water or any given solvent of your choice. Okay. You form an aqueous solution. For example, NaCl solid, I put it in water, it becomes NaCl aqueous. The enthalpy associated with this is called delta H of dissolution. Similarly, sugar, when you put some solids in water, it becomes cold, some when you put it becomes hot. So delta H of dissolution can be exothermic or endothermic. let's say for example you put it in water and you feel colder, okay, meaning it is taking energy away from you. So that is endothermic, opposite is exothermic. Okay. These are the types of enthalpies that you are going to be dealing with in thermodynamics. Get familiar with them, just looking at the equations, get over and over and get familiar with one particular thing. Learn to read coefficients and states. Okay. These are extremely important, particularly here it has to be standard state. Here liquid or gas பொறுத்து state பொறுத்து உங்களுக்கு energy மாறும். Okay, that you have to know. Here coefficient is important, it has to be 1 mole of H plus and 1 mole of OH minus, or in general 1 equivalence. Okay. Here this not that tricky, it's straightforward. We will deal with the latent heat also later, why steam is more dangerous than 100-degree water, all this later. This has to do with this phase change. Last is dissociation. Okay. Alright. Now you have seen the basis of thermodynamics and basis of the types of enthalpies. Next we will go into calculation of enthalpy in the next lecture. Alright. Thank you guys.